So let's go hop over to Genesis. And I actually have drawn in here already. I haven't got very far in my notes in this because I've just purchased this recently and I am working my way through it. So I'm going to kind of show you real quick what I've got done, and then I will real time walk you through taking notes on a page, and you can do that with me. So here we've got Genesis, and what I use are a pen, which I've got on my faves page. If you want a pen and a highlighter that I recommend, I love these, as well as these Bible tabs I got from the Daily Grace Co. So what I did for Genesis 1 was I read the story and I highlighted what I wanted to take notes on, so the main points. So right here, I've highlighted the word day. God called the light day, and I've highlighted the word night, and the darkness he called night. And that was the first day. So I've got that the first day was day and night. And then I've got on the second day, I'm going to highlight the word that shows what the second day was, sky. And so I've just highlighted the important things. So if I'm coming back to this, I'm looking over it and I'm going, the beginning was day, night, sky, land, seas, vegetation, two great lights, sun and moon, stars, birds, water teeming with living creatures, mankind. So right there, I've got just real quick, I've highlighted the days of creation and what was created. And then I've got down here, seventh day he rested. So I've got a real quick snapshot of what's in that chapter just because I highlighted. And then from here, I've taken my highlights and condensed them into my notes. So I wrote more details about what was on the first day, second day, all the way to the seventh day. Then right here is a good idea for any notes that you're taking, is just to add to a little list of the main events or people that are happening in that book. And so that's a good idea to save that first page for the overview, like you're creating a mini outline, and work on that. Just add to it as you're going through your Bible. So then I've got chapter 2. I've got my overview, I've got creation. Chapter 2 is titled Adam and Eve. So I've highlighted that because that's the main thing I want to remember from chapter 2. So as I'm reading, I'm seeing, okay, Adam and Eve were the first man and woman created. Do not be afraid of drawing and doodling. You do not have to be an artist. I am an artist. I've studied art my entire life and I'm still drawing stick figures. Remember, this is for your spiritual growth, and just have fun with it. So here I've got the place is Garden of Eden. So I've got the setting and I've got the characters, just like a story. So I'm coming back here another time. I just have this quick snapshot of what's happening. So right now I've gone all the way to chapter 8, which was the flood. And then I've got God's covenant with Noah in chapter 9. So I'm going to go ahead and read because I'm going to be taking notes on this and I need to read every word. So you can follow along with me in Genesis chapter 9, God's covenant with Noah. And I am going to do the whole chapter because it's not very long. So let's go all the way through the entire chapter of 9. God's covenant with Noah. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on the beasts of the earth and on all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground and all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything." So I'm going to stop for a minute and highlight anything I think is important. So be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth was a command that God gave them. So I'm going to highlight that. And then everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. So he's giving them everything. So he's saying everything on earth you're in charge of, the plants, the food. And then I want you to be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. So let's go to the next page before I start writing things. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply on the earth and increase upon it. And I'm going to highlight this again because he said it twice. It must be important. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, "I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, all the wild animals, all those who came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth." So he's saying, I'm giving this promise to everybody, the birds, the livestock, the humans, the wild animals. But what's the promise? The promise is the covenant. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. Okay, so here's his promise. Here's what he's commanded them. And here's the sign of the covenant in verse 12. God said, "This is the sign of the covenant I'm making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I've set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth." So I'm going to highlight that. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all the living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. So he said that again, so that must be important. There's the covenant. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind of the earth. God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant I've established between me and all life on earth." So he's just saying it over and over again. So I'm going to take my main points. His command, God's command to Noah was, be fruitful, increase in number. Be fruitful and increase in number. So that was his command. I'm going to draw some people, lots of people, because he wants them to increase in number. And then God's promise or covenant is, never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. So I'm going to do water with a no symbol through it, so we know we're not going to be flooding the earth again. And then his promise is made through a rainbow. That was the covenant. So I'm going to stick that over there. Okay, so the next section is the sons of Noah. So I'm going to highlight this. And then any sons I see, I'm going to highlight. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the three sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered over the whole earth. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. And when he drank some of his wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders, and they walked in backward and covered their father's naked body. Their faces were turned the other way so they would not see their father naked. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves he will be to his brothers." So I'm going to write this down really quick. This is an interesting story. So we've got Noah, who has three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. So I'm going to write him down there. Okay, so it says, Ham saw his father and told his brothers, but Shem and Japheth saw his fathers, or went in backwards so they wouldn't see their father to cover him. So Ham failed. And so he saw, I'm going to draw some eyeballs, because he's the one who saw Noah naked. Oh, you can't see that. So Ham was the one that saw Noah naked, so that's why I'm drawing the eyeballs next to him. And so Canaan was then cursed because of Ham's sin, which really Noah committed a sin as well, for being drunk and naked in his tent. He also said, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Shem." So he's happy with Shem and Japheth for being respectful of their father. And I might even, just for fun, draw a little, oh dear, that doesn't look very good. There. Draw his little jug right there. So after the flood, Noah lived 350 years. He lived a total of 950 years, and then he died. Noah lived 950 years. So I just got this side note over there. So that is basically how I outline a chapter. I just take all the main points and I kind of put them in a organized way over here, so that if I don't want to go back and read it and I just want the overview, like over here, I've got Noah at 500 years old had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. If I want to go back and figure out a little bit more about Noah, I've already got that written here, and I can look here. And then I've got, it's like when you're in school trying to prove your work, you highlight where you found your answer, so that if you're like, is that true? You go back and look at your highlight to double check your work.